Losing it, losing it, losing it, losing it, losing it, losing it, losing it. If you got a story, we don't care if it's happy or gory, so come share your losing it story with us. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Losing It with Nelsie Spencer. That's me, the podcast where guests come on and tell a story about losing. Could be something tangible, could be intangible, right? I'm joined with the very sweet and smart and funny and bearded Ronnie Whaley. Hey, Ronnie.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going good. How are you doing?
Doing all right.
All right. All right. How's your week been?
It's been okay.
It's been okay. Yeah. I have some stories to tell.
Okay.
I have another dog-related story.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah.
What
yeah,
happened?
because, well...
Was it injury related?
Oh, don't skip ahead. First of all, she's fine. Callie is fine.
It is another injury related.
It's a dog, yeah. So, the other day... my husband's like, why is her tail down? Why isn't she wagging her tail? And like her tail's always up, it's always just like in a nice, parentheses. And then my son Malcolm comes home. He's like, what's with the dog? She's not wagging her tail. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe she's mad at you. And then
it's your fault.
Yeah. Oh my God, I have my glasses on. Jesus, I can't have that happening. I wore a blue top. We want to show off the blue eyes. And then I realize as I'm walking her tail is going out, and then 1/3 down, it's just dropping. Oh. Yeah. Like not at a right angle, but like it's definitely dropping. And where it's dropping, it's kind of swollen. Oh. And so I'm like, she sprained her tail.
Is that a sprain?
Now, here's the thing. Here's the reason I know the dogs sprain their tail. My old dog, Rudy, who unfortunately, he's in doggy heaven, so that's good for him. But he died a few years ago. He was a hunting dog. He was a mutt, but we're guessing because he loved to swim. And when a dog swims, if they're turning around, they use their tail like a rudder, and it helps turn them around.
Really?
Yeah. It's really cool. Like, I never knew that until I had Rudy, and he would be...
It's like a cartoon.
It is. He'd be swimming out into the river, and then I'd go, come back. He'd like go halfway out, chasing these ducks, and I'd start to freak out, and I'd call him, and then he'd turn around, and his tail would like in a circle to turn him literally like a rudder, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So cool. So... Rudy is very sad, and I don't know what's wrong with him, and I take him to the vet, and they look at him, and he's got, right at the base of his tail, it's all swollen. They're like, oh, he sprained his tail. Yeah. Like, how does a dog sprain his tail? And they said, well, if he's like a hunting dog, and all winter he hasn't been in the water, and then he goes in the water, but his tail isn't in shape. He's out of shape. If they can sprain their tails. It happens all the time.
If the dog is like overweight?
No, not even that. It's like, if you can't like just run without warming up, or, you can't run a marathon. Like, so in the winter, he wasn't going in the water, and then he went in the water in the spring and he sprained his tail, and did that twice. I see. And they had to put him in like, swear to God, like painkillers and anti-inflammatories.
Did they put a cast?
No.
You don't need a cast.
You don't need a cast. So then I realize that Callie sprained her tail. I'm like, oh, should I take her to the vet and spend another $150? But that was like 3 days ago. It's much better. It's like, it's back to 90%, maybe 85%. So she's better. But yeah, there was a sprained tail.
See, I've never had that. I had pugs. So they have like corkscrew tails. Yeah, and you can't sprain that.
You can't sprain it, right?
If anything,
and
I
don't think they're not using their tails to swim.
No, I mean they can barely swim.
Right, pugs are not big
they're
swimmers.
freaks of nature, honestly. They're weird.
They kind of are. They kind of are.
They shouldn't
but
exist, honestly. They actually shouldn't exist. They're man-made. Yeah. Yeah.
They have like nasal problems, right? It's a whole thing. Oh my gosh,
so many problems. So many problems.
Yeah.
Breathing.
Yeah. And I was about to say with a certain amount of like all-knowingness that's why I got a mutt. But Callie has her share of problems.
Yeah.
Most of them behavioral. But yeah, so we had a dog injury, a tail sprain. But she's fine. She's lived to tell the tale, pun intended. And she played with Gunner today, unabashedly. And I was on the verge of going and buying her over-the-counter anti-inflammatory things, but she's doing okay. She's doing okay.
That's good.
So that's the big news from New Jersey here. I'm trying to think if I have anything else exciting. Lola's fine.
Lola's fine. She's doing good. She's getting ready for the big move to DC. So she's going to be in a big city for the first time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Lola's a dog. It's FYI.
Yeah. Lola's a dog.
Yeah.
And she's not moving to she's not moving to DC by herself. Just so you know, she's not like packing her bags and going. Yeah.
Not this time.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. She might, if she decides she doesn't like DC, she might just pack her bags and go.
I mean, she might,
somewhere.
who knows when she grows up, what she wants to do, that's up to her. We can't control that. We gotta let things.
She's like, I fucking DC. I hate it. All they talk about is politics. It's so divisive.
I'm going to New York.
Like, I'm gonna move to Oregon. Okay. I'm gonna move to New York. Yeah. So that's gonna be sad when she's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it was the one animal in the house. I was thinking of getting like a fish.
Really? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fish person. When I was little,
honestly, you just look at them, right?
I know.
Yeah.
My brother's partner has like 3 fish tanks and so many fish. He loves his fish. Yeah. And fish are supposed to be great feng shui. Have you every Japanese restaurant you ever go into, they have a fish tank because it's good feng shui.
I thought because you eat the fish in that tank.
No, if you I said that with incredible confidence, and I could be wrong, but I do know. I'm pretty sure that's it. That fish are supposed to be good for prosperity.
Oh, okay. I mean,
in the feng shui world,
I want to get. I've seen these like fish tanks. They're super cool. They're like this big, right? Like
wow!
And they're for small fish. And they have like UV lights and stuff. And it's an all like everything you need. Like a filter is built in, the light's built in, everything's built in. And then you just have it there. And it's like a very nice looking thing you could stare at. And you put little fish in there and then like little blue like coral. And it's just like a nice thing. And it makes a sound like a humming sound. So it's just nice to have around. You know what I mean?
So it's visually pleasing. It makes a nice like a white noise.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so it's pretty
fish
cool.
only get as big as their container, I think. Right? Like if you have, the bigger the tank is, the bigger your fish get. Once again, I'm spouting facts as if I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but they're for, because if you get a tank that small, you need it. It's for a very small fish because you can't trap a fish. You know what I mean? Yeah,
don't plop a salmon in there.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, and the thing about a fish, it's low commitment. It's low commitment.
Yeah, it's not.
You don't have to walk it.
Maintenance.
You don't have to.
No, yeah.
You don't have to train it. You don't have to brush it.
No. Like the maintenance is cleaning the bowl and feeding it every day.
When I was little, and I mean real little, because we were living in the first house where I grew up. We lived in 6 Rocking Horse Road, and then we moved across the street when I was 3 to 5 Rocking Horse Road. Literally. So when we were in 6 Rocking Horse Road, we had goldfish, and I kept taking them out to pet them. And they died. Not surprisingly. I kept taking them out and petting them. And they just, one day they were floating. They were floating.
Oh,
Turns out
you're like,
not
have you seen
supposed-
Finding Nemo? Remember
Yes.
the kid with the braces in Finding Nemo? Who you could shake the bag? So that was you. Why are you sleeping?
Oh, Finding Nemo. It's a keeper. It is a keeper. Yeah. So, well, I think we've done it. You know, we've covered Callie. We've covered Lola. We're going to await anxiously for you to get your little tiny, beautifully self-contained fish tank.
Thinking about it.
And,
or a chipmunk. We'll see.
No, not a chipmunk, really?
Well, there's chipmunks all outside. We actually, a chipmunk, there was like baby chipmunks we found just abandoned, like near the garbage. Yeah. And then we were like, what do we do with these chipmunks? Right. And we just didn't know. It became like a moral discussion.
So
like,
what did you
do?
did nothing. I'm sensing you did nothing because I didn't watch it on the dodo. So I'm pretty sure that you guys did not save. You did not intervene.
We know of a place where chipmunks frequent. So we put them there in a box. Like with like a hole. So
with a note, dear other chipmunks.
Yeah, might be yours.
If you're a mother chipmunk who is having trouble procreating, please take care of it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you've been trying IVF and it didn't work, here is your.
Yeah, exactly. So,
oh man,
you're probably fine.
Yeah, my dog, my old Rudy, who's in doggy heaven, killed 3 or 4 chipmunks in his life.
Oh, God.
Just catch those sucker in the mouth, throw them up in the air, catch them. They're dead.
Really?
Also
that
found
like
some
a cartoon character.
Oh, he was a cartoon character. Baby bunnies. Yeah.
So who's on this week?
You know. Oh, right. We've got Gus Birney. We've got Gus Birney, who actually was on an old episode. So after or before you listen to this one, you can also listen to the other one. But pre-Ronnie, I had Gus on, and she's amazing. She's an amazing actor, and you'll hear glowing, wonderful things. You'll hear all about her. And if you don't know who she is, go to Instagram and follow her and watch her on Apple TV's Dickinson, plus many other things. She's funny. She's great. I've known her since she was 3. So check it out. So I'm so happy. Oh my God, I don't know how I get so lucky, but you guys know Gus because she's been here before, but you also know Gus because she's on TV, she's in movies, she's in Dickinson. I feel like, you know, your IMDb list is long and vast, and I don't need to waste time on that because I know you in a very special way. So that's kind of cool. But I'm very happy that Gus Birney is back. Hi, honey.
Hi, I'm so happy to be back. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God. First of all, how's your dad?
He's good. He's good. For you viewers out there, my dad did have a heart attack about 3.5 weeks ago. Very surreal to say out loud again. But he's good. He actually just got his second vaccine about 3 days ago, and he's didn't have any side effects and is shooting an episode of a show right now. So he's doing fine.
Oh my God. I didn't know it was a heart attack, honey. You just said your dad was sick and that it was really scary, and I didn't pursue it because, you know, you know how you get kind of weird about that? It's like, I don't know if she wants to talk about it. I don't know if that's all she's been talking about. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought I had told you the specifics, so I'm dropping an A-bomb on you, but
no, that's okay.
No, it was mild. It was not terrible. It runs in his family, and he did everything in his power to not have this happen. You know, it was someone that worked out an hour every day and ate very clean, and then it happened. And
were you guys in the city or upstate?
So he's primarily been living upstate, and we've come back and forth. And so he thankfully had just come back from upstate and was here one night and saying he had some kind of chest pressure and was anxious about it. And my mom and I were like, oh, it's just anxiety. There's nothing to worry about. And then the next day, I know.
Shit. Don't you feel bad? Oh, God.
Never listen to Connie Schulman and Gus Birney for health advice.
Oh, Dad, come on.
I was like, it's fine. Here's a hamburger. Yeah.
Have some bacon. Have some bacon,
seriously.
Dad.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, the next day he was going to the doctors for something else to do with his hand. He's been having this like joint pain, and then on the way to the doctors, he started getting this terrible chest pain. And then was like, I'm going to go to the hospital, and they checked him out, and yeah.
Oh my God. First of all, I'm so glad he's okay. Yeah. I'm so glad he's okay. 3.5 weeks ago, and he's already back on set shooting an episode of something.
I know.
Yeah. Oh my God. And for those of you guys who don't know, both of Gus's parents are amazing actors. And her dad is Reed Birney, who, I mean, talk about an IMDb list that's too endless, and won a Tony, 3 or 4 years ago, won a Tony for The Humans, right? Yes. Yeah. And he's on an early episode, just like Gus, and just like her mom, Connie Schulman, another amazing actor who has been on Broadway and on TV and Orange is the New Black and on, and also a dear, dear friend. And a fabulous person. But so, yeah, Gus comes from a line of actors, and her brother Ephraim is also an actor and a musician, right?
We're crazy. Yes, he does. Yes. He does it all. And he's writing.
But are you still doing music, Gus?
Yeah, I am. I'm kind of working with my brother at the moment to write some stuff together. And, this whole period of time has been very challenging, but also a wonderful kind of retreat to create. And so we've spent so much time together, and he's so much more technically proficient than I am at everything. Yeah. And so we've kind of started talking about making a home recording studio for ourselves. And
awesome.
So we have this great equipment, and he's been helping me, and so, yeah, I don't know what I want to do with my music, but it's something that makes me so happy, and it makes me feel, fulfilled.
Yeah. So, and first of all, I've known Gus since she was 3, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I've known you since you were 3. And I've known your mom since before that, although I didn't know your mom as well before. I knew your mom in passing. But, so I watched Gus go from this little bull-headed peanut to who was always the cutest thing to blossom into this beautiful young woman, and it's been quite a trip. And I'm always forever running into your mom. Connie and I run into each other in the oddest places.
Well, I think you guys are such similar souls and spirits, and just interconnected in so many ways.
We just adore each other. We adore each other because she's just heaven. But I remember running into her, and I'm like, oh, I ran into you guys leaving the recording studio. Right.
Oh, I think that, right? Yes.
I'm like,
yes.
I saw your mom from behind. I'm like, that is Connie Schulman. And I'm like, Connie? And then I'm like, Gus? What are you guys doing here? Oh, we just left the recording studio. And I'm like, okay, back up. Right. And I think you've been doing music for a while then, right?
Yes. There's this great guy, Rich Pagano, who has he helped me form and develop my music into what I want it to be. And he kind of produced 3 or 4 of my songs wonderfully, but that was in the before time when that was the thing. And now I've kind of tried to adapt to doing it at home and figuring stuff out, and also saving money without spending thousands on going to recording studios.
Yeah, and because you're a singer-songwriter, you write your own stuff, you sing your own stuff. She has this beautiful voice and very unique style. And I remember seeing your mom somewhere and her just playing something for me and just tears in my eyes and oh my God, because it was just this whole new side of you that I didn't know. And where can people listen to your music?
Well, thank you for saying that first off. But it's on SoundCloud. If you just look up like my name on SoundCloud, you can get all of this. It's very rough and it's very like homemade music. But
do I need to reference Billie Eilish? Do I need to reference Billie Eilish? Which I mentioned, I managed not to when you talked about you and Ephraim doing stuff together, because I think you guys are obviously a very different animal than those two. But talk about, you know.
Well, you know that we are family friends.
I did not know that.
Yes, we are. We are family. I actually was pen pals with Billy for years, but that's actually what I thought you were alluding to, and I was like, oh, how does Nelsie know this? But
I know all. I know all.
You do know all. You do know all. No, but we actually, our family, my parents are friends with their parents, and they used to come to our house upstate for years, and then, you know, Billy's like huge now, so that's a whole other thing. But yes,
you know you're huge when you have like a documentary about you and you're not even old enough to drink yet. You know what I mean, or what? It's like
I know, but like such talented little humans.
Oh, so talented, so talented.
Yeah, and Phineas too. Like her brother is beyond talented. So I think, you know, my brother and I did watch a portion of the documentary. I didn't finish it, but I did see how close and like how interconnected those two are, and like to create music with someone that knows you so well is such a gift. So, you know, to that I have Ephraim to kind of bounce stuff off of, and he's in his own world such a great musician. Is so lucky.
Oh, that's so exciting, Gus.
Yeah,
that is really cool, right? And It wouldn't have happened. I mean, here's the thing about this pandemic, and I don't ever want to minimize, you know, the loss of life and the people who've died and people who've lost people and people who've been horribly sick and the economics of it. I mean, it's huge. And I keep meeting people who are having experiences. I mean, all of us have had experiences that we wouldn't have had if this hadn't happened, but experiences that are really wonderful and lovely and life-changing even, you know? I mean, would you and Ephraim have been doing this? No, you'd be off in your own, probably, right?
I mean, in every way, this year was, I mean, it's so hard not to talk about it cliche, because I'm sure everyone has talked about this year as its own beast, but, I mean, it like, I met my family again, and I've always been very close with my parents and close with Ephraim, but I think I read somewhere it's like at a certain age you meet your parents, and I feel like at 21 during this pandemic I met my parents for the first time, and I love who they are, and they, I think, know me in a different way, and you know, we spent 4 months uninterrupted upstate.
Wow.
And it was some of the hardest days of my life, but also like some of the hardest times I've laughed and felt connected to them more than ever. So I wouldn't trade it for anything. I mean, also I walked out of it very lucky. Like no one in my family got very ill, and you know, and I'm knocking on wood.
Yes, as am I.
That. But it's just. Were you in the city? Where were you when this was all?
I was in New Jersey, and I've been in New Jersey I've been down here full time since 2012. I've been down here full time. Right. You know, I was going into the city to teach and to see clients and to do the podcast, and being down here, it's been so easy because it's just me and my little bubble, and I walk my dog, and nobody comes close to me because, first of all, it's not New York City, and secondly, Callie is not a very friendly dog, so people can't really come close to us. But I get to walk my dog. Everything I do, I can do remotely now. I've had more clients than I've had before. I have these wonderful people that are writing memoir and novels and screenplays. I mean, I'm so blessed. And, you know, I did my one-woman show, which you saw the very first iteration of. Which was
amazing.
Thank you.
Can't even, so good. But keep going.
Well, I did sort of the third version of it. in a a solo fest that was international because of the pandemic. So last October, I did Day of the Dead Daddy again, sitting in my bedroom. You know this, you're going to appreciate this, I think, because you're an actor, but trying to do a comedy without an audience, staring into your camera, the camera on your laptop, and all you see is the pixelated Zoom view of yourself.
Horrifying.
It's horrifying. It's horrifying. And the entire time I'm thinking, it'll be over soon. It'll be over soon. Versus when I did it for you, I mean, even though it was that tiny little in a rehearsal space, when I did it, even though it was a tiny rehearsal place, I think there were 10 people. It was still great because there was the connection, you know?
Yeah.
And, but
was
anyway.
It live? Did you do it live or was it pre-recorded?
I did it live.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. But, and it turned out fine. It turned out, like I was not having a good time. Fortunately, you could not see the fear behind my eyes, which is a miracle because, but what about you? I mean, my God, did you guys film the second season of Dickinson?
So
talk to me about that.
Oh my gosh. So I've been very lucky because I finished Dickinson. The second season finished, oh my gosh, maybe end of January. So it was right kind of before this all happened of last year.
Yeah.
Right. And so that finished, and then March, we went upstate, and I actually was just about to shoot a film when this all got screwed up, and then that ended up getting delayed, and it actually ended up shooting in Syracuse in October, which was
kidding.
Great. Yeah, and then
Syracuse in October is gorgeous. Were the leaves incredible?
Stunning. It was beautiful. I mean, I was quarantining in this little hotel for most of it and losing my mind, but from outside my window it was beautiful. But no, I loved, it was great because it was just a bunch of younger people, and we were all in the same hotel and hanging out all the time because we were being tested, and it was this little camp bubble.
Right, you've got your bubble.
Yeah. And it was so much fun. And I was so happy to work, and then I got to go to California in January to shoot this pilot that is still up in the air, but it was when California was really bad.
Oh my God!
I was flying out there with the news saying 1 in 3 people are getting sick out here. Stay away. Don't fly to LA.
And what month was that? This
was February or end of January, February of this year.
Wow. And you're not great with germs. Am I right? Did I remember that about you?
I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not good with it. No.
So on a regular day, it's not a good thing. And then you're traveling to a hot spot in the middle of a pandemic on an airplane.
Oh my gosh. Well, I looked like the biggest idiot in the world. I had 3 masks on, a face shield, hazmat suits, stay away from me. And I didn't get sick. So, it's working, my method. But
Absolutely. Good for you, honey.
Yeah.
And so, okay. I got so many. We don't have enough time. I have so many questions.
I know. I just dove into a lot of stuff.
No. I'm completely with you. So you did the movie in Syracuse. Did you have fun? Do you love it? When's it coming out?
So it's called Plan B. It's going to be on Hulu. It's about these 2 girls in high school. They go on a mission to find the Plan B pill. So we've all been there. Am I right? I'm kidding. Not really. But no.
Kidding. She's kidding.
Joking.
She has not been
joking.
There. She is
no, but I don't play either of those girls. I actually play a mean girl in the school. And it's really fun. It's the script is hilarious, and it will do, I think people will love it. But that's coming out in the spring. I don't know if they've set a date yet, but
meaning this spring.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Plan B. I love it. I'm there.
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything about my relationship with Plan B, but because they have been around for a while, and they're a godsend. Yeah. It's a godsend. So I'm so glad. How fun is that? And then the pilot is still up in the air.
Yes, I think I find out I'll find out soon-ish, but it is up in the air. I'm really excited about it, but I have no idea what's going to happen. And I'm somebody that's like, oh, the second I'm excited about something, I jinx it and it's done. So
yeah, no. Yeah. So really, you're kind of lukewarm about it. Not really caring that much about it.
Oh, I'm so chill. I'm so chill.
So chill.
That's like, who cares?
Oh, right. And as a matter of fact, it'll be inconvenient if it happens. So, and can you talk about that, or are you superstitious about it? Which is okay.
I mean, it's the coolest thing. I think it's the coolest thing ever. So, and I will talk about it, and it's not going to jinx anything.
No, because we don't believe in that.
No, but yeah. So it's a pilot for Stars, and it's Greg Kinnear and Courtney Cox. They play my parents, and
I just read about that. You know why I read about it? Because Raina sent me an article about it. Because Raina's like, look, Mom, Gus is doing Raina sent me an article. Look, Mom, Gus is doing a pilot. And I was like, oh my God, Courtney Cox. She's in LA now. She's in LA,
I should have looked her up.
Honey, she's working at Warner Brothers. She's the assistant to vice president in charge of comedy television at Warner Brothers. And my regular listeners have heard me brag about her on every other episode. But yeah. No, she's in the biz. She's in the business of show, honey.
Why am I talking? She should be on here. Oh my God.
Because everything I do embarrasses her. It's like, do any other of her moms have a podcast? No, I'm not supposed to be having a podcast. I'm supposed to be like, I don't know, wearing stupid pants. I don't know. I'm supposed to be retiring to Arizona or something. I don't know.
Oh,
not that she would hate that as well. So I'm teasing. She thinks I'm pretty great, but she does not. I should get her on the podcast. She wouldn't do it. Just saying. But anyway, Raina's great. She's in LA. Next time you go out there, you should see her. She's happy and, of course, working from home, but really happy.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's amazing.
So Courtney Cox and Greg Kinnear.
Yes.
Oh, that's like a dream. I love those two. That is really good casting.
Yeah.
For a couple and their comedy chops.
They're so good together.
And what's it called? It's
called Shining Veil.
Shining Veil. All right. Okay. All right.
It's like a horror comedy. Hopefully one day you will see it. So
I'm sending out lots of happy and positive vibes. It's totally going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Just picture yourself on the set every morning when you wake up. Just picture yourself on the set.
I will.
Just visualize. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh my goodness. All right. So, definitely you and I just have to chat at some point, and I have to.
I have so many questions for you, and I'm not asking any of them.
How's your mom?
She's great. She's really good. She's writing. We just got a turtle. She's taking care of our turtle. She has like 5 babies here because we have all these animals that she takes care of.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
She's doing children's books. She's just like, she's amazing.
And what happened, like, the stuff that your mom was writing about Johnson City, Tennessee, that when, like, 10 years ago, didn't she get an agent for that?
She did. She has an agent. As you know, getting anything out there is impossible and very difficult. But I think some of the we were actually talking about this last night, I think this is very much its time as, like, the conversation changes and, I don't know, voices that maybe necessarily weren't in the spotlight a couple years ago are now out there. And this is very much a story about, like, the ins and outs of the 1960s and, like, the
1960s and also being the only Jewish family in this southern town. And I mean, my God. Yeah. And have you read any of it, Gus? It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm not overstating it when I use the word brilliant, and so funny. Your mom's voice.
Funny.
So funny.
Original.
Oh my God. Like, when she came to, like, my class, I'm using quotes because, it was just like, I'm teaching, I said to my friends, I'm teaching a writing class, who wants to come? And we met at your apartment for a while. But the first time your mom read her stuff, I was like my jaw just dropped. I mean, I knew she was an amazing actor, but when she read that stuff, I was like, oh my God, you're a fucking writer. You are a writer. Like,
when she's somebody that doesn't allow the attention to be on her.
I know.
And, she's so busy, like, giving. And then if I actually sit and think about, like, what she is as a person. I like, she's just this force that I
She
think
is.
she can't, this book, it will be made, it will get out there, but it's just been a journey and she just has to like stick with it.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about your mom is that she doesn't attach her ego to that stuff.
I know.
She doesn't attach her ego to that stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So I think you have a losing it story for me. Am I right?
Oh yeah, I do. It's not, I was watching your Instagram and I was like, there's some of these stories are so good. It's so moving and like profound. And then I was going to come on here with, I'm coming on here with like, I'm not going to put myself down. It's fine. I'm going to build myself up.
Honey,
it's good.
You know what? First of all, I get to hang out with you, so that's fantastic, and catch up, and also, as far as I'm concerned, is it entertaining? That's not, it's like I don't need profound.
That's all.
I don't need
matters.
profound. Yeah.
No.
So so go, baby. I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. Well. Okay. So this happened very recently. Actually, this happened back end of January when I was about to go film the pilot in California. So my good friend Jackie, who might kill me for telling this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. She comes. She's like me. She's the most neurotic person in the world, and she's been very safe and gets tested all the time. So she's pretty much the only person we allow in our home. And so she would come every Monday night to watch The Bachelor, which, Nelsie, I have to ask if you watch The Bachelor.
It's the funny thing is I'm in and out with The Bachelor. And when Raina was home at Christmas, I always begin with mocking The Bachelor, and then I get completely sucked in. So I got sucked in for the last 2-hour episodes, and completely sucked in. So yes, I do watch it. I watch it and I hate it and I love it.
Yes, as all of those things are accurate and true and should be true. This was a dramatic season, so a good one to get sucked in at the end. It was very dramatic. I don't know if you watched that after the final rose, but we'll just keep going. We'll keep going. But anyway, she comes over every Monday night to watch, and the Monday before I was supposed to leave to fly out, she came over, and she always bakes us something. She's wonderful. But she leaves, and that's that. She goes. So then 2 days later, I'm getting ready to go, and I'm leaving the following day. And I'm looking for my wallet, my bag, my purse, which has my passport, my ID, my cards, everything one needs to get on a plane. And it's nowhere. It's just nowhere.
Oh my.
Looking under chairs, looking in places it couldn't possibly be, like underneath rugs, and like someone's hiding my wallet there. It's nowhere. I'm freaking out. I'm crying. I'm screaming at my mom, blaming her. She's thrown it away. Mom, you did something.
As moms do.
Throw away
wallets.
She saw my wallet. She's like, that has to go. I'm so upset. And we're on the phone, calling like, what do you call to get a new passport? I'm like, how long does it take to expedite a passport in? So, because I'm leaving literally like the following day, or maybe
my God,
or something. I was leaving very soon. And there was just nothing to do. So my mom is like, okay, well, what could have happened? Did someone come in the middle of the night and take it? Were we robbed? But they didn't take anything else. They just took my bag, which is in like a Forever 21. I can just hear
your mom saying this. Okay, now what could have happened? Someone came in the middle of the night and took nothing but your wallet.
Oh, my wallet. So then we said, okay, well, let's backtrack. When was the last time you saw it? And I was like, I haven't used it in like 2 days, which is shocking because I spend probably like $100 a day on like a muffin. I get like 10 muffins a day. But anyway.
That muffin habit. Yeah, that can get expensive in Manhattan.
It's terrible. But she's like, okay, well, the last person that was over was Jackie. So let's call Jackie. Maybe she took your bag and she didn't realize. So we call her. And she's listening, and she's like, yeah, okay, I mean, I don't see it, but, And I was like, well, why would Jackie take my bag? That doesn't make any sense. And she would know. It's this, like, beige, fluffy purse. And so she hangs up, and then like 10 minutes later, she calls us back, and she's like, okay, well, I don't have it, but I think I know where it is. And I was like, what are you talking about? And
that's intriguing. That's very intriguing.
It was very intriguing, and I was like, what does that mean? And she said, I just have to let you know, like, Monday happened, and, like, so several days had gone by. So
right.
I didn't have my purse for several days, and I didn't realize this.
Right, because it's a pandemic, and we don't necessarily even leave the house.
No.
Yeah.
So I don't leave the house anyway, but regardless. But she's like, I got a message from, oh my gosh, look at my finger. It's bleeding. This happens. I start talking and I'm picking and I'm bleeding.
Oh. Ouch.
Okay. So she's like, I got a message from my Uber home that night that I had left something in the car. And I was like, okay. And she's like, I'm going to call the Uber and maybe somehow I took your bag.
Wait a minute. Stop for a sec. Let's wait till the sirens go by. Because I know that. Gotta love New York City. Gotta love it. Okay, so she says, I got a call. I think I know what happened. I got a call.
She got an email from her Uber
driver
an
email.
Monday night
that
said, you've left something in my car. What she didn't respond to it because she was like, I have everything I need. Why? I didn't leave anything. So she said, maybe somehow I took your purse. I remember seeing something on the ground in the car when I was driving back. And I was like, okay, it's not going to be my bag. She would know if she took my bag. None of this makes sense. And so then she calls him, and she's describing the purse to the Uber driver, and the driver is like, yeah, that's the purse. It's in my car. It was sitting on the ground. So she basically has him, and he's like, it's noon at this point, and he's like, I work the night shift. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to get you the bag until this evening. And I'm sitting at home being like, oh my God, my purse, everything is in this man's car. Who is he? I don't trust this. Like, he's going to have people coming in and out of the car. And I'm like, Jackie, I don't understand how this happened. How did you take my bag, accidentally throw it on the ground, and then leave the car?
I like wait. I like the verbs you use. How did you take my purse and then accidentally throw it on the ground? Those verbs are a little
pointed. It was pointed. I was mad. But it just didn't make sense. And even telling
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And, anyway, so long story short, she eventually, the driver and I she's the one communicating with the driver. And so I don't have his number. So she's kind of pretending to be me, saying, like, I've left my bag in there. Can you please return it to this address? So it's like 7:30 that evening. And she texts me and she's like, okay, he's on his way finally. He's been at the mechanic all day. He's coming, prepare yourself. So I'm waiting. She texts me. She's like, he's downstairs. I go downstairs and she's like, he's outside. Hurry. He's getting annoyed. He's waiting. I'm going out. I don't see a car. And I'm like, Jackie, I don't see a car. And I'm running up and down the street, going up to people's windows on my street, being like, are you blah, blah? Like, are you Steve? Do you have my bag? And, people think I'm insane. None of them are Steve. And I'm, and she's texting me all the while being like, Gus, he's about to leave. He's so frustrated.
Cut that out.
And I said,
okay.
But is he on my street? And she's like, oh no, I told him the wrong thing. And he had heard it wrong or something, but he's not on my street.
Oh my God.
He's 10 blocks away.
10
blocks? So 10 blocks. So then he finally comes And I get it, and I'm crying, and I'm on the floor, and I just still don't understand how this happened. But and everything was in there. It was amazing because nothing was taken. And it had supposedly been in this guy's car for 2 days without anybody claiming it. So
oh my God! And was Steve nice when he finally arrived, or was he all cranky?
No. So then I go up.
Were you in tears when he arrived?
I was in tears, and I was in like SpongeBob pajamas because it was late and I was running around and my hair was up. But I went up to him and I was like, "Hi, you have my bag." And he's like, "Are you Jackie?" And I was like, "No, I'm Gus, but that's my bag." And he's like, "Well, I'm looking through the stuff. Oh, Gus, no, it says Augusta because on my ID it says Augusta."
Yeah, can you make the leap from Augusta to Gus?
Buddy,
Hello.
Buddy, no, this is my and I think there's a photo of me, and so it looks like me, and he's like, okay. So he gives it to me, but it was that cherry on top where it's like, I've been waiting for this all day. You're giving me my stuff now.
Yeah. It's like Uber driver attacked by a young blonde woman on
it's SpongeBob dramas.
SpongeBob. Yeah, hospitalized.
No, but it's that thing. I mean, I don't do well under pressure. I don't do well, and I'm stressed. And so I just start like being like, oh my God, everybody's out to get me. Something's wrong. I'm not patient, and I just go crazy. So, Jackie and I are still very good friends, and this has not hindered the relationship. But I do remember being like, how has this happened? And it was an accident, but I'm like, what?
I am sure that I'm guessing, and I'm sure you've been through this, that your purse and her purse were next to each other or maybe hanging over the same thing, and she grabbed her bag maybe and grabbed yours as well. I don't know.
Yes, they are different colors, and I'm like, Jackie, I'm confused. But her coat hangs over the chair, and I think it got stuck in the coat.
There you go. And then when it got in the cab, it fell out, but it was on the floor.
It was actually amazing that it fell out in the cab because it could have fallen out on the street.
Right.
And then I never would have gotten it. So
in a way, it's a miracle.
It's, someone was just like, this'll be fun. This'll be fun for Gus.
Let's just mess with Gus. Let's just mess with her. But like, only for 48 hours, and then let's let it all turn out.
Yes, yeah. I mean, look, it was totally fine in the end, but yeah, it was just...
Yeah, look, it's a first world problem.
Absolutely.
I can't find... I've lost my passport and my purse, and I can't go to LA to shoot a pilot. That doesn't mean that it's not, first of all, really upsetting. Second of all, talk about a mystery. Like,
Tell
right?
me about it.
I mean, that is crazy. And I love the fact that, like, then, Gus, he's getting really mad. He's waiting. He doesn't see you. And you're like, where is it? That he's at the wrong address. So, of course, it's the perfect screenplay, right? Because you have the want, and then you have all these obstacles getting in the way. And you in SpongeBob pajamas, which I adore.
Oh, yes. The visual was the best part. I mean, I can tell the story, but the visual was just... Yeah.
And if you could just post a picture of you in the SpongeBob pajamas, that would be...
Yeah. Okay. I mean, maybe I could find one. Seriously, it's just, yeah. But I don't know what it entails to have to get all your stuff back if you miss, like, if you lose your card and your ID. It's a lot of work, I think.
It's a lot of work. And I know you can get like an emergency passport, but you have to go down to like, one, something or other street, way the hell downtown, right, near the Brooklyn Bridge, and you're in line, and it's a government building, and yeah, it can be done. But guess what?
Right.
You didn't have to do it. It was a miracle when all is said and done. So, okay, let me ask you, when all was said and done, did you learn anything from it? Are you looking back and going, oh, next time, or if I had it to do over again? I
always say in moments of Well, first off, never trust Jackie. No, I'm kidding. Never let Jackie in your home. No.
Yeah. Only on Monday nights with the No, you can't let her in. No, apparently not. Yeah.
No, she's already come back. She passed the test. The wall, everything's still here. So
that's because you keep it in a wall safe now when she comes in.
I do. I have a locker that it's in. No, I think I have to learn to not flip. I have to flip out. It's like stillness and breathe and be like, it will work out. It will be okay.
Yeah, and it will, because even if, and I mean, I feel like I've learned that over the years, but I got a few decades on you, that when, like lately, like I'll lose my sunglasses or I'll lose my car key or I'll lose my cell phone. And instead of going, where could it be? I'm like, it'll turn up or it won't.
Right.
And if it doesn't, it's a car key. They can replace them.
Yes.
You know, but it was decades in the making. I'm telling you, it was decades in the making of what you just did. And yes, if you can walk out of that and remember next time, you know what? It's all going to work out.
Right.
Yeah. It's just a passport. Or it's just whatever. Oh, that's a good story, though, honey.
No, it's true. It's true. I always think about, I am a terrible flyer. I'm not good at turbulence or anything. But, I'm always the person that's like, when the plane gets really shaky, I'm holding onto the seat so tightly and being like, oh my gosh, is this going to go down? What's going to happen? And what I realized is like, whether I'm holding on like this or I'm holding on and just sitting there like...
Right. Whether you're, looking at Sky Mall and hoping to get a massage chair or freaking out is not going to determine whether the plane goes down or not.
It's not going to do anything.
No.
It's going to impact my experience. And like, I'd much rather be breathing and sitting there calmly than having a heart attack.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's a good metaphor for everything in life, where it's like, you just got to let it play out. You just got to breathe and let it play out.
Breathe and let it play out. I like it. I feel like I could needlepoint that. I like it a lot.
Words to live by, Nelsie.
Words to live by. Absolutely. So I think, as you know, because you've done this before, we end with 3 questions. And the first question is, what do you hope to lose in the next year? Something you hope to lose in the next year.
I actually think control. A little control.
That's a good one. Okay, I love that. And is there something you hope to gain in the next year?
Strength.
And do you mean that metaphorically or actually?
Maybe both. I mean, definitely could use some arm muscle, but no, I think strength and I've always been a very soft person. I'm not good at confrontation. I'm not good at being direct, and I actually think there is strength in stillness and in quiet and in softness, and owning that strength. I think that's kind of what I mean.
I like that a lot. So, and is there something you hope you never lose?
Optimism.
Oh, that's so good, honey. That's really good. I like that. Yeah. I feel like that is one of the best things to have, is optimism. Oh. If you can be glass half full, it's, and I feel like I have that too. That's wonderful.
You definitely do. When you're around somebody that is excited about life, makes you excited. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, this was so fun, and that I could talk to you for another 2 hours, but if I do that, Ronnie, my wonderful producer, will fire me. No, he won't. But so will you give your mom and dad my love and give them both a big hug and kiss?
Yes, and they're giving you that.
I just adore them both so much, and I want to get Ephraim on, because we got to get the whole family on. And I said that last time, and then the podcast kind of fell apart, but we're back now. So I will contact him. And I think I already did. And he said he was willing. So I'm going to contact him.
Oh,
so tell him.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. And then once your music's really happening, you guys can come back as a team.
Oh, I would love that.
That would be fantastic, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, honey. All right. Well, you're adorable and gorgeous and talented, and I love you. And thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All right, sweetie. All right, loving the Gus Birney. She's amazing. And I mentioned it on the interview, but I just watched her on Instagram playing the ukulele and singing an original song, and her songs are great. So check her out. So instead of doing a letter this week, I thought I'd tell a story. Ronnie gave me the A-OK. So last week, as you guys know, we had on Kyle Russell, aka Kiki with Kiki, and he talked about his dad dying, and really, as sad as it was kind of a beautiful story, right, Ronnie?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I have a story of losing a friend that it's not beautiful, but I wanted to tell it because I think I mention her now and again. My best friend, Laury Marker, who I met waiting tables. Every time I have to reference a date, I just know the listeners are going, damn, she's old. Excuse me. We met waiting tables in 1982, right? And became like instant friends, like best friends, 126. We were best friends. And fast forward, she's an actor, I'm an actor. We're both out of work. We decided to write a 2-character play together. We write this 2-character play together. We had 4 professional productions. I mean, it was like, I always say that if she and I had been alive now, we would have been making Broad City. Like the play we had a similar vibe, best friends talking about sex and blah, blah, blah. In New York. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So, I get married, she gets married, and we have a falling out. We have a falling out about business because we were collaborators. We were best friends, and then we started writing together. And we had a falling out about writing together. And the specifics aren't important because, I always say, in any argument, there's there's what, person's A version and person's B version, and then there's the truth, right? Because we're always coming at things from our own point of view, and that's what we can see.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So my feelings got really hurt. Her feelings got hurt too, but my feelings got hurt, and I ended the friendship. And
you made that decision.
I did. Because she accused me of not being a good friend, and I felt really hurt. And I thought, why would I want to be friends with someone who thinks I'm not a good friend? And, looking back, at the time I was, 41, 42, 43 maybe. And we both had kids, and who was working enough or too much, who was spending more time on this screenplay we were working on. And she felt like I was taking advantage of her. Long story short. So I didn't talk to her for 2.5 years. And she reached out to me, and I didn't call her back.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. And then I found out she had breast cancer. So I was like, all bets are off. Hi, honey, I'm here. What do you need? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we, we used to have this saying, we sang a song and resolved our conflict. Because a dear friend of ours was writing a musical, and he did a reading of the musical, and so it wasn't quite done. And so somewhere along the line during the reading, he'd stop and he'd go, "Okay, so now at this part, in the musical, the two characters sang a song and resolved their conflict. So if Laury and I would fight when we would make up, we'd go, so are we good? Did we sing a song and resolve our conflict? So yeah, that's a saying that lives to this day. So Laury and I sang a song and resolved our conflict, and she had the breast surgery and she had radiation and she was okay. And our friendship was back. And then, fast forward, she's had her second kid. I've got 2 kids. She stops talking and gets kind of quiet. And then we realize way down the road that she has some sort of degenerative neurological problem that's affecting her ability to speak. And it's killing her slowly, because it starts at the front of your brain and it moves its way back. And gosh, I don't know why I thought I could tell this story and not cry. So the good news is we were friends again. The good news is I did my best to be there for her. It's very difficult when, first of all, it's someone you love and someone young with children and someone young who's incredibly vital, to be sick and dying, and that there's nothing you can do about it. And they can't even tell you how they feel because she doesn't have any language. So she can't access it. Like, she's trapped inside her brain. And when she, like Kyle was talking about, I was able to go and see her she was in a home near the end, and tell her, it's okay, you can go, And so I was able to say goodbye. And that was really great. And I think about her every day, and I quote her all the time. I mean, we were best friends from 1982 till she died. I guess it's been 12 years now. So that would be 2000. I can't do the math. 2009, I guess.
Yeah. Then, yeah.
2008, I think it was, because she was 52. We were the same age. So the reason I wanted to tell this story was because I always wished I could get those 2.5 years back, where I was really stubborn, and like my feelings got so hurt that I wouldn't, even though she wanted back in, I wouldn't let her in. So I guess I wanted to say to people that, if you're estranged from someone, ask yourself how important it is, and ask yourself if what would happen if they died tomorrow? Would you feel regret? Would you think, oh shit, it wasn't that important? Would you be sad of all the time you missed? I'll tell another story. So at Christmas time, I got Raina a mug that had an R on it, and I got Doug a mug that had a D on it, and there weren't any N mugs, so I got myself a mug that said wifey on it, but they didn't have any M mugs for Malcolm, so I got him a mug that said love yourself, and he was like, Mom, that's really lame. It's pretty lame, right? I mean, when you're 24, you don't really want a love yourself mug. I mean, I don't know when you do want a love yourself mug, but so yeah, that's why I have a love yourself mug. All right, so that's the end of the Laury story, and I love her, and I like to think that she's still with me, and I think about her every day. And she was one of the funniest people you would ever meet, and so creative. And so if you have some friend that you love and you've had a falling out, just go, hey, maybe I should reach out. Social media lets you do that now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So we did it. And rate and review. Tell your friends. What else, Ronnie? Help me. Jump in.
What did we need to figure out next week's theme?
Oh, God. Thank God. See? This is why he gets the big bucks. So Gus told So Gus, what the heck
Gus
told that funny story about lost her wallet. And it fits because she thought like her friend took it, and her friend kind of did, but didn't, right?
Yeah.
So what do we think? Go ahead.
I was just going to say it was kind of like a weird miscommunication that led to some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if you have a crazy losing it and then finding it story, like losing something and then finding it story.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm sure there are probably tons. It happens all the time where people lose their wallet on vacation or out partying, and then they have to all of a sudden figure out how all of a sudden it's like, survival instincts kick in, Yeah,
or even knowing, like with Gus, she was like, no, it was in my house. It was in my house, right? So that kind of a thing where you're like, wait a minute, how did that happen?
The porcupine was in the house. It's still here.
The porcupine was in the house.
I'm sure it's still here.
I feel like there's merch. There's porcupine merch that's begging to be done. Begging.
Poor porcupines.
One last thing I want to say, because I realized that there's a Gus Laury connection, because Gus was best friends with Laurie's daughter. And even though I knew Connie, Gus's mom, before I knew Laurie, they then became friends. And Connie co-produced a documentary about Laurie. Losing her cognitive ability. And you can actually, if you Google it, guys, it's called Looks Like Laurie, Sounds Like Laurie. So Google that. And it was on PBS. I think it was on PBS. Anyway, so check that out if you want to know about that. I mean, that's what an amazing person she was, is that all of her friends got together and were like, and Laurie wanted it to be done. Laurie wanted to document it. So anyway, sidebar. But yeah, so send in a losing it story. You guys can contact us at losingitcontact@gmail.com, telling us a story about something that mysteriously went missing, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of turned up somewhere inexplicable.
Yeah, so my dad, I don't know why he was doing this, but this was about right before I moved to New York. My dad, the thing is, context-wise, there's a bit of a prank gene in the family. And I'm guilty of it too, honestly. For example, like my dad, before I was born, he did this really quickly. He did this thing where he taped the lottery. So he taped the lottery, bought the numbers, said to my mom, hey, I have a long distance call. This is before I was born. I have a long distance call. This is back when, long distance calls were like really expensive on the landline. Yeah. And so he was like, but could you check the numbers if we won, the lottery, right? So my mom watches it, we win the lottery, quote unquote. And my mom just goes, oh my God, this is crazy. And then my cousin, who was also there, starts crying like, oh my God, all our problems have been solved. Thank you, Jesus. And my dad walks in the room just crying and laughing. And then
wow.
Yeah. Wow. So that's my dad. And yeah, my mom, when I asked my mom about that, she's like, yeah, I almost divorced him after that.
Yeah. Because, pranks can go either way, right?
Yeah.
Pranks can go, oh, that's great. Or, oh, yeah, you're funny. Or like, you fucker, right? Which your mother wouldn't say, I'm sure. But
no, my mom doesn't even cuss. But my mom she might have cussed then. She was so mad. But my dad was, well, anyway, so that's my dad, right? So
yeah.
My dad, and I know this is my dad. He was doing this thing right before I left for New York, where he was like doing little things in my room and things in my life. He was like altering in very small ways. So I have slippers, in the Philippines, you could wear slippers. It's fine. It's like a whole thing, right? And he would do this thing. He would just hide one slipper.
I have slippers on right now. Okay. I have nothing. Slippers are fantastic.
Yeah. But I wear them all the time. And it's kind of a thing where like, you don't want to put shoes on where I'm from. Like, it's just like, it's just weird. It's hot.
Yeah.
So he would hide one of my slippers, and he would just hide them, but then he would keep the other one really prominently in a place that's very prominent, like, oh, that's where my slipper is. But then for some reason, and I would ask him, Dad, have you seen my other slipper? And he's like, why? He would go, why would I know? Why would you ask me?
Where your slipper is.
Exactly. And then one day my laptop went missing, and I was like, what the hell? Where's my laptop? And I was, huh?
But wait, so the slipper would go missing.
Yeah.
And then would you find it? Would he then put it?
No. No. See, the problem is, so he's been doing these small things. I'm going to tell you these small things, but I didn't find out it was him till like a year later when I was in New York. Yeah. It was the longest bit. Yeah.
That is a man committed. He's committed.
Yeah. So one day I lost my laptop. My laptop never leaves my room. And the thing was that I got drunk with my friends the night before, and then the day after, I was like, "Where's my laptop?" And I'm like, "How drunk did I get?" Because I don't think I got that drunk. Did I bring my laptop out and leave it in someone's car? And I got really drunk. That's what I was thinking, right? I was like, I don't know. And I was like, Dad, I asked my dad, like, have you seen my laptop? Like, did I leave it around here? He was like, why would I know where your laptop is?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, in retrospect, we know every time he said, why would I know? Because he's not lying to you. He's not saying, no, I don't know where your laptop is. He's answering your question with a question. Why would I know where your laptop is?
Yeah. Because why would I know? And I asked my brother, it's like, did you take my laptop? And I started getting mad at him. Like, I know you took my laptop. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I started looking everywhere because I'm freaking out because I have like work I have to do and stuff. And I'm telling my dad, like, Dad, if you have my laptop, like, then you know where it is. And my dad, like, still just, why would I know? Why would I know where the laptop is? And I started looking. I look under my dad's bed. After a couple days, I find my laptop there.
Under his bed.
Under his bed. And then I'm like, Dad, I found the laptop under your bed. He's like, really? Why? What? And then I'm like, in my head, I'm like,
so he's a really good actor too. He didn't break character.
He didn't. And I'm like, why would my dad do this? It's so stupid. like why would he do this? Like, there's no real reason for this to keep going. You know what I mean? So I'm like, maybe he didn't do it. And that was the joke. Like, I could never really tell, but I knew, but I could never be like certain. You knew,
enough. But how you couldn't prove it.
Couldn't prove anything.
Right?
So
right? Yeah. And so in your mind, how did you figure your laptop ended up under the bed?
I was just looking everywhere. I literally was just looking everywhere. But
once you found it under the bed, what did you think, okay, did you think Dad took it but he's not admitting it? Or did you think when I was drunk I put it under there?
No, no. I don't think that had to do anything. But I think I was thinking like, yeah, my dad did it, but also there's a side of me that's like, but maybe it's something else, and I don't know what it is. And then my dad started saying like, oh, maybe there's a ghost in the house or something. Like, I don't know. And then like he started pushing this ghost thing. Like,
he's losing his credibility. He's losing his credibility.
But then like he would do it as if like, oh, what do you think? It's like, maybe it's just some ghost because I don't know what you're talking about. You keep saying things are missing, and why would it be me? Maybe it was a ghost. He would blame it on the ghost, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's true. It's really stupid to be doing any of this, and you're like, in your 50s. So like I don't understand what's going on here. But then also I'm like, it's probably him. And so like even another thing he would do, he took I have like a tech deck. It's like a fingerboard. If you know what tech decks are, they're like tiny skateboards that you like play with. And I had a collection, right? And I have them in a case. And one day I look over and all of the tech decks in the case were missing. And I'm like, oh shit, how long has that been gone? And I asked my dad. By the way, I should have mentioned, when I asked about my laptop, my dad was like, okay, Ron, look, we're going to look for your laptop. And he went in my room and flipped my mattress. He's like, I don't see it. And he just like trashed my room. Like looking for it. I'm like, okay, Dad, you're helping me here, but like you're trashing my room. It's like, look, we're going to find it, right? the tech deck thing, like it was missing for 2 days. And then I have a glass vase on the top of my bookshelf. I look over one day, all the tech decks were there. I'm like, what?
Oh
the
my
hell?
God. So by this point, you're thinking, I'm psychotic and I'm having psychotic breaks.
I should say, though, that these pranks, they were spaced out in like 6 months.
Wow.
That's how.
So he was an evil genius. He was patient.
And I never really knew. I never really knew it was him. And there was a bunch of other stuff that I just can't remember. But yeah, like he would take
Did he do any of this stuff to your siblings? To your brother or sister?
No. And I think, no. Yeah. And you know what's even worse is that I found out later, when I found out that they were accomplices in this.
No.
Right?
So they were just mostly. Like, let's mess with Ronnie?
Well, I think what it was is that my dad, I was like, I think like 23 or 24 at the time. My dad was like, he needs to get out of the house and do something with his life. You know what I mean? And this was his way of doing this. It's
a very untraditional way. I don't think any of the parenting books say that. I don't think.
No. But it's very much my dad to do this. And I found out, the way I found out was, I was living in New York like half a year later, right? And I was talking to my sister on the phone, and she was like, yeah, remember when Dad like took your laptop and like pretended it was like a ghost or something? And I was like, what? I knew it. And she thought that I already knew about it because it's been so long. And I called my dad.
You called your dad?
I called my dad. I added him to the group, like a group call. And I was like, Dad, she confessed. Like, I knew it was you. And then my dad was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah.
So he still never gave it up.
No, well, then my sister was like, wait, you didn't tell him that you did all this? And then my sister was like, oh, no, my sister said that. And my dad was like, Linz, why? He didn't know for so long. And then he finally was like, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the longest bit I've ever witnessed, honestly.
That's damn impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah, it definitely runs in the family. Yeah.
But you're not so much. You're not so much a prankster.
I mean, honestly, I'm a little bit more low key. Like one time with my ex-girlfriend, I switched all the clocks so that she would wake up at like 3 a.m. And she got up 3 a.m. for work. And she like took a shower and like she stood outside and she's like, what the fuck? And that was
I just want you guys to notice the ex-girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend he did this to.
Yes. The ex-girlfriend. Yeah. I'm
guessing
pissed.
She didn't find it funny. Yeah.
No, she didn't find it funny till like much later. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Even if it's not funny, you've got to respect somebody who's that committed. You have to. I respect your dad.
All of the clocks. I changed the
respect you.
Clock.
Oh man, I wouldn't like my brain doesn't work that way. The only prank that we had in our house where my brothers and I came home from school, or maybe it was just me and Cardi, came home from school and we walked in the front door, which is funny because we usually didn't walk in the front door, and our front foyer was bricks. And my mom was standing there and she said, look what the cat did. He threw up, and there was like cat barf there, and she picked it up and threw it at us because it was plastic barf.
It's so random. You pick up barf like you would think.
She didn't, and she threw it when we, of course, both screamed. I know. Yeah. Look at what the cat did, and then she threw barf. I mean, my mother had to go to the store, buy barf, right? Buy fake barf, wait for us to come home, be right there in the foyer when we walked in. And that was the most whimsical thing she ever did. But I still remember it.
Yeah, man.
God bless.
One Christmas, my dad had a giant wrapped box, right? And we stared at it he kept it under the tree for 2 weeks before any other presents. And we were all like, what is in there? And then he had the camera out on Christmas. We opened the box, and it was literally garbage. He was just laughing. And then all the presents came out after that. Where he was just like...
thank God.
My dad has the thing about committing to the bit for a very long amount of time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And what does your dad do for a job?
He's a journalist, but he works for like WHO and stuff now, yeah. Yeah.
So he's got this whole sort of fun, whimsical, mischievous side that he doesn't get to use in work.
Not really.
So then
no.
he's like, he doesn't get to prank his coworkers.
No, not really.
Or write a story and then go, just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end,
especially like for the New York Times. He wrote for Reader's Digest for like 10 years. He couldn't have done that. You know.
Oh my God.
Man, I made this go a little too long.
Good. That was good. I think we've done it though. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yes. So guys, rate, review, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to either the podcast or the YouTube channel, please do. And tell your friends. And you can always DM us at Losing It Podcast on Instagram. You can comment below right there if you're watching us on YouTube, and you can tweet us. We're on TikTok. We're fucking everywhere. You can't get away from us.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think the only thing I have left to say is don't poop in the ocean.
Yes.
See you guys.
See ya.
Yes. Do not poop in the ocean. Bye.
Bye.
Losing it, losing it, losing it, losing it, losing it, losing it. You came and you listened to the story. I hope so much that it didn't make you sorry, and I hope so much that you'll come back again.
Losing It, hosted by Nelsie Spencer, produced by me, Ronnie Whaley, theme song by Hunter Williams. Follow us online on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all podcasting platforms at Losing It Podcast. Viewers can email Nelsie with questions or comments about life, writing, comedy, or even your own Losing It story for a chance to be on the Losing It Podcast at losingitcontact@gmail.com. For everything Nelsie and everything Losing It, visit us at nelsiespencer.com.